All right. I hope it's. Give me a second, everyone, please. If you can hear me. All right. I think. Um. Okay, I think it's working now. I can. Give me a second. All right. Okay. All right. Thanks for the flowers. I think it's working now. So yeah, I had to spend a lot of money to get this thing working. The thing is that I can hear it playing, but I cannot hear it on my hand here, and I don't know why. I can't even hear my own voice. Normally, I should be able to hear my own voice. It should be echoing back to me, but it's not. And I can hear the music playing because I have to. Okay, fair enough. I think it's just not picking up my mic. I think I still need to do some settings. Well, look, the most important thing that you guys can see me. Well. Who are we? We. If you don't know who I am, yeah, problem. If you don't know who I am, let me remind you who I am. My name is Lex. Okay? And Lex is the kind of guy that you really want to try to get to know, because I'm one of the few ones that tells you the truth about yourself. Hey, where are you from? Oh, I'm speaking from Australia. Huh? The city of the kangaroo, like you guys like to make fun of us here. Yeah, we don't have kangaroo just jumping around everywhere, okay? We have lovely cities here, beautiful cities. If you haven't visited, you need to get a ticket. So I'm speaking all the way from Australia. All right. If you don't know who I am, I say one more time. My name is Lex. You need deliverance. Even Jesus or Muhammad is not going to help you. Let's do this again. I think the software doesn't like me very well today, and I don't know why. Because normally it should have brought up a lot of things, but for some reason it's not. Wait, let's do that again. Oh, I see. Sorry, my bad. I have to change up some settings. Sorry. I apologize. Don't worry. I'll make it up to you. Okay? Just give me a couple of seconds for me to do something. Oh, there you go. I was wondering what happened. Because I just paid another couple of thousands of dollars on this stupid thing. Are you good with law-abiding subject on English King? Do you pay tax in Australia? Oh, you got some questions on you. Oh, I'll answer your questions, all right? I'll give you as informed as I am. I will try and correct some misperception about what Australia is. If you want to ask me questions about Australia, I'm happy to oblige, and I'll be able to give you the information that I know. All right, I don't like to misinform people, and I think it's fair when you give information, you give out the right information. All right, as you can see from the thumbnail, from what to be discussed today, let me put it right here. So you guys can see who is spoken to you, because I like to spoke. Yeah, who are you? We, she, we. My name is Lex. Okay, I'm the host of Daily Rant. So if you haven't subscribed yet, you're a loser. Winners, everyone that subscribe is a winner. So you haven't subscribed, take your time. It's free. You don't have to pay a single cent for it. Just now, my content is not for men. Man, this is not to rouse your balls or your egos to make you feel special, because there's another guy that's talking from your perspective. I like things to be even killed and even balanced. All right. Because we have a lot of what we call shortcomings. And ladies, especially living in so-called Western society, because I like to talk to you a lot. You, the PhD holders, the college kundalas, you too, you need to take a lot of chill pill. Luckily for us today, there's been a lot of them who started taking a lot of chill pill. Do you worship? Do you worship His Exceptional Majesty in London? This guy got some funny jokes. Listen, I'll get to you in a second. All right, let me do my proper introduction here. All right, let's get back to it. So, today we're going to talk about what I call family. Okay? Today we're going to discuss family. And when I say discuss family, we're going to discuss why in the Western society there's a lot of ideology why family is not important. All right? You shouldn't care about family. You know, family is not something that is inherently very important for you to put your concentration on. But I'm going to try to help you debunk this theory so this can help you start making some really good conscious information. But luckily, we've had a lot of women that are finally getting it. And I'm gonna share from that perspective a lot of women today that actually don't mind. And that's where this conversation is gonna start from today. All right. So this is not me trying to be an asshole, but this is just me trying to give a good, from my perspective, very balanced way and balanced approach on how to have this sort of discussion. All right. I know it's not pretty, it's not fun. This is not trying to prove that one person is less important than the other. That's not what I do. Okay. I like to have what I call constructive and informed conversation. I'm a conversationalist. I'm not a podcaster. All right. I like to give perspective. If it fits the shoes, madam, oga, you wear it. So that's how life is. Now, finally, I'm happy that we start finding a lot. There's some women, female podcasters that I found too that, you know, they're successful on their own right. And shout out to them, because I'm gonna use some of the videos to make my to have conversation with us today. So please, whatever you're enjoying, please do me a favor and subscribe. Now, so who I am, my name is Lex. One more time. Let me go straight to the point. If you live in so-called Western society, there is an agenda out there to keep us single, to keep us alone. There is 500,050 billion reasons why you should be single. A lot. There is 5,355 reasons why you should be alone, single. You don't need no man. You don't need no woman. Huh? There's 5 billion reasons why that. And yet, the core reason why we should, it's never been explained enough to us, because we've always just have this mindset that, oh, I'm never going to be able to find my person. And one of the ways that's easy to sell narrative to people for them to take it on board and do and build their life based on those objections or those perspectives is why I'm going to share some of these videos with you guys today. Let me show you. All right. This is a young lady that she's going to give her perspective, what she thinks and why things happen the way it happens. Let's hear her out. Something is not hard enough here. Oh.
Comfort. And I realized more the older that you get, not necessarily that old, but the more that you mature and like spend time away from your family and just be a little bit more independent by yourself, you have a lot more appreciation for what they do. So for instance, right now for me, I'm in law school and I'm in a completely different state from my family. And when I do get the chance to go back home, everything is just so nice. And I know that's also such like a privileged thing to say, to like have like, oh, like I have a place, I have a family to go back to. And just like the fact that I feel very loved and like all the comfort that I get when I'm home, I know that's not accessible to everyone, so I'm really grateful for that. And I think that's why a part of me is making this video, because you only kind of realize what you have when you are in a distance from it, like when you don't necessarily have it at the tip of your hand. And yeah, I'm just here to say, if you're in high school, like if you're in college and you're like still living with your family, like even middle schoolers that are out there, like you really should appreciate the time that you have with your family members, because especially like as you get older, like your parents are also getting older, and like no one has an immortal life. Like, you know, like everyone like will, it's part of like the cycle of life. So just spend as much time as possible you can with your family members, especially your parents.
This is for someone, your family.
Wait. I think everything is working properly now, because I can hear some things on the background there. So yeah, I want to start with the video we just saying. I'm happy that you know people, men and women in the 20s and 30s. Let me just tell you straight away. Where are the broskies, the young guns? Huh? I know they've told you that women ain't shit. They always gonna hit your money. The HOs. You understand? They're this, they're that, they're this, they're that. See, there's every stages you get through as a man. I've said these three things and I've always say this is what I later learned in life. I'm not 5,000 years old. I'm still young too. But this is what I've learned. There's three things you need in life for you to know you're ready. Number one, you need to create place. Hmm? Place is just not just a physical place. Number two, space. Space is not just a physical thing. And the last one is time. Those are the three things most men we chase around until when we get it, then we'll understand, okay, I'm ready. All right? But in this Western society, there's so much propaganda why it's better for you, because everything we see on social media, it's encouraging people every day for them to stay alone, for them to be single, don't get into a relationship, don't do this, don't do that. Women ain't shit, men ain't shit. Why should you do this? Why should you do that? There's a lot of encouragement around that, which it's not very healthy, because if you go back down, little down in your life, you're gonna find out that we need each other more than we actually realize. Speaking for someone who was here in Australia when the whole fiasco happened in terms of COVID, a lot of people were locked up in their homes. 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 months, they don't even go outside because you're not supposed to go outside. Coronavirus did a lot of people's head here in Australia. They've never been the same since then. A lot of relationship breakdown during COVID because it was the very first time you might be dating someone, but you spend more time at work than you do at home. By the time you get at home, you don't even know how to behave because you're just gonna eat, hey, cuddle, cuddle, mwah, mwah. Before you know, go to bed. You go back again to the following day. Out of 7 days in a week, 5 of those days, sometimes six out of those days, you're busy with people at work. More than the same person you see you're in a relationship with at home. So guess what happened during the COVID? Everybody was isolated in the same environment. Then you get to actually see each other for all the bad habits that you have. Then a lot of relationships start realizing, man, this relationship is ain't for me. I'm out. Boom. Before you know, the same old shit keep piling another shit. COVID in Australia was a mess. People haven't been the same since then. That is straight fact. This is not some feeling conversation. So, what I'm trying to say is that there is 5,000 reasons why you shouldn't be in a relationship. There is 5 billion reasons why you shouldn't. But when we want to compare it, why you should and why you shouldn't, it seems that there's a lot of why I shouldn't be in a relationship is more than why I should be in a relationship. You understand? In this generation today, there are very few examples on how to stay in a healthy relationship. I'm sorry, Americans. I know you guys don't like me. I don't like you too. I'll say your ideology of dating and relationship, it does not apply to me. And it's fair. You can have your own. I will have mine. For those who like to go and model their relationship ideology like Americans, you're going to receive the same treatment. You're going to receive the same outcome, like the ideology. It's just that simple. There is no shortcut behind it. Huh? You have to model your relationship based on your current geographical location that you are, not based on everything that's happening everywhere else. A lot of people, they have imaginary relationship in their head because they think, I need to look at, they're living this kind of lifestyle. I need to live it too. Yeah, but you cannot afford those lifestyles. You cannot. So I am glad that a lot of women have started getting it, especially those who live in so-called Western society. Hmm? You can chase your 9 to 5 all you want. In fact, you can want to build a lot of things that you think is going to help you, but you need to understand we are not measured by the same standard. It is not fair for a man to be measuring a woman based on his own standard. I know they've give us a lot of bullshit about equality. Equality. There is no fucking equality. It does never exist. It doesn't. Let's listen to what she's gonna say.
Family comes first. It doesn't matter who's around you. And when I say your family, I'm talking about your spouse and kids. Yes, we have family members such as parents, siblings, cousins, all of that. Your immediate family, who's your wife and children, they come first. They come before anybody outside, such as your cousins, siblings, parents. We can love our parents. I say this all the time. I adore my parents. But one thing I know is that my children and my spouse are first in my life. They are my first ministry. And there's so many out there that are doing ministry. You're doing it the wrong way. You're putting the church first. You're putting your outside family first instead of your spouse and children. The same way that you're treating people outside, the outside circle, family, whoever, you need to treat your wife even better, your husband even better, your children even better. They deserve a good, solid, healthy environment. Therefore, your spouse and your children come way before any family member. When you are in the rut, when you are going through things, who's there for you? Think about that.
Makes women.
And that's the thing. There's a lot of women that finally getting it now, and some of them will not. And I want to preface by saying this, all right? Because I've said this many, many, many times. Because we live in a time whereby your words will be taken out of context, and they're gonna give it a whole different definition and different meaning behind what I'm saying. Listen, not everyone is born and raised to be in marriages. Not everyone that is born and raised to be in relationship. Not everyone can afford or provide for it. But if you know you want to try it, if you know you want to have this, if you want to go into this rabbit hole, go and acquire the appropriate knowledge that is going to give you chance for you to succeed. I said again, go and acquire the knowledge. I didn't ask you to go and get BBL or get big nyash or get big dick. No, I'm telling you, go and acquire the knowledge that is going to allow you to be successful if you want to go down this rabbit hole. Because it is not a rabbit hole that you can just go in and dip in your head and dip out. No, you have to be committed, because family is not something that comes easy. It's extremely very rewarding, but you must be willing to sacrifice. And what can I say? In 2026, we have more selfish people in this world today, more than this world has ever been. Self-centered, self-delusional people is the ones that we have in everywhere in the so-called Western society. That is why many of them, they strive. They just can't understand something is missing. I'm not feeling it. It's because everything in the Western society, there is no authenticity about it. None. It's fake. For gays. Kiki in your face. Oh, no, that's great. Bullshit. It's so much fakeness here. So much fakeness. Yes. A lot of them seek authenticity every day, but they're fake. For you to be authentic, you have to be extremely vulnerable. In terms of, you have to show, this is me. You like me or you don't like me, no problem. I don't hate you if you don't like me, and I don't love you if you love me too. It is what it is. But a lot of people like to disguise themselves to make themselves sound like they are too cool for school. Oh, everything is all cool here. But it's bullshit. Bullshit? I need to have that voice on my thing. Bullshit? Yeah, it's a lot of bullshit. So this video we're about to see right now. This video is the core video of what I really want to discuss. I want us to listen to this video very well from the perspective of this woman. All right? So I think she's a comedian, and she's done very well for herself. I want her to explain to you our realization for all my Caucasian sisters out there that you've grown to have this ideology that you need to stay in that 9 to 5 until you're alive because you want to build a house on a sand or on a river or on a coastline. You want to enjoy your best life. I give you that perspective because I call her the Becky's. Becky is going to give you a perspective. Maybe it might help you. You understand? You don't listen to content like this because you call us African men that we're too bush, we're too traditional. So listen, let her explain it to you. Maybe you get into your medulla oblongata.
Happy. And I was thinking on this way, like, well, what makes me happy is, unfortunately, or fortunately, the traditional things. And now, had I said that to my 20-year-old self?
Wait. You hear what she said? She said, unfortunately. Let me be quiet first.
I would be horrified because I was a good feminist and I fought my way through comedy and I did all the clubs. I'll show you, I'll be the best female comic. And I carried this anger that compelled me for 20 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I became a mom and I got humbled by illness. And then I was like, okay, so what makes me happy? I know what makes me happy. I can't speak for all women, but is there something to my biology, to my essence? Possibly. I think too, it's like it was the male ideal of success that ruined women. It was this idea that in order to become equal, we had to be like you.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That's the problem. I have to have my career exactly like Todd's. I have to be successful. Like, this is not going to work for me. This is not going to work because I'm a mother. My body can't keep up with this pace of work. It's not good. And it makes the woman angry, resentful, bitter. And now I'm useless because if my kid can't come for a snuggle and my cat can't come, I'm the center of the home. This is the truth. And it's not pretty to say anymore, but that's what I learned.
And it's so interesting that you touched on power before because we were talking about power and women want to be powerful like men are powerful. Like, women are super powerful.
Just not in the same way.
Just not in the same way.
100%, babe. We are the ones, the puppet masters. No offense, but there's a reason I'm sitting here talking to you. My husband's on a plane to Indiana right now. Okay? And I mean, I'm so grateful that he does do that. I'm not saying that I manipulate him to do that. He wants to do that. But yeah, women's lives can be fantastic. If you let the guys just do their own, let them do it.
That is my...
You see, that is one of the biggest problems in the Western society that I see. This is why many of them yearn for authenticity so bad, but they're lying to themselves every day. You're lying to yourself. It was recently that I finally tried giving this perspective to men to start listening, if the ones that want to listen. Because as we all know, there's some men, they're lost cause. Their head is so knocked up because you haven't reached your breaking point yet. Everybody has a breaking point. You're going to get your breaking point one day. And I hope it's not too late and you're not overly too old in as a man. Because the thing is that, you see, we are not held by the same standard. We are not expected to do things the same way. We are not expected to think about things the same way. We don't bring exactly the same thing to so and so called to the table. We don't reason. We don't think. Our objectives are not the same. We complement each other. That's what we do. You bring the best version of you. I'll bring the best version of me. We complement each other. That is what it is. But unfortunately, a lot of women want to measure their success just the way a man does. I want to sit on the same seat he's sitting. But what you don't understand is that the road that I have to take for me to get to be able to sit on those seats, if you go to that same road, you won't make it. Doesn't mean if I go through the road that you had to take to get to those seats, doesn't mean I need to compare it. Comparison is a thief of so-called the joys. But the Beckys, the corporate ladders, the one they're chasing it every day. Oh, I have to be the diamond manager. It's not the same. But in the Western world, they've printed this ideology in their head. Go and chase your dreams. No. It's not that they're telling you that you need to stay and cook and clean, because that's always the excuse. I didn't want a man to tell me I need to cook and clean. Yeah, that's just very disrespectful. Yeah. Becky, before you know, you're 45 years old. Before you know, nature is not kind to you, ladies. Nature hasn't been kind to you for thousands of years. But this is one time in the world, according to all the truth data and the fake and the lies data that we find, that this is the first time you guys have been more liberated now than any woman who've ever come before you, ever. And yet, one thing that still gives the inner peace, the thing that brings the real authentic you out of you, is the yearn and having family. Now, how are you going to have that family? That is your own agenda. But that is the bottom line. Now, you can go through whatever journey you want to go through. That is your own call. I'm not judging you. And if you say you don't want family, that is completely good too. I'm proud of you. You're making a conscious choice. No one should put pressure on a woman to do something that she doesn't want to do. Yeah, if she says she doesn't want to do it, you don't have a right to tell her. But the bottom line is that those who seems to finally get it, it's usually later in life that they started realizing it. And usually then, nature is not kind to you. Now, let's get a perspective of this lady. I've listened to her, she and her husband. Shout out to her, please. Give them a follow on social media if you know their social media. Let's listen to what she's going to say.
Be an unpopular opinion, but I am with her. I find most of my joy on my days off when I am at the grocery store, when I come home and I bake my bread from scratch and I make my vanilla from scratch and I'm in there trying out new recipes. When my kid is sick and I'm able to come and sit down on the couch. I'll give you an example. The other day I got off work. I had worked all day long. I work a 40-hour week. I work 4 10-hour shifts. I got off work. I came home. I made dinner. I got on the treadmill. Our oldest son had mentioned that he didn't feel great. Not that he was sick, but he did not feel great. I was in there on my treadmill, going over what I needed to do the next day at work because I had a lot of stuff that I needed to do at work. I found my peace while I was in there making dinner. I checked on my kid. I went and got on my treadmill. I found some little peace on the treadmill. My oldest, he's 12. He came in there and he looked at me and I was like, "What are you doing up?" And he said, he started off by saying, "I don't feel great." And I said, "Well, why are you up? Why aren't you laying down?" He was like, I'm coming to check on you." I'm like, "Sir, why would you be coming to check on me? I'm just fine. I'm in here working out. You the one who don't feel good." So I told him to go lay back down and it clicked. It took a minute, but it clicked. He needs mommy. So I went over into the living room and I said, "You need mom cuddles? Is that what's going on?" And he kind of looked at me and he kind of made a face. He didn't say yes. He didn't say no. But I knew in that instant with his face that he needed mommy. He didn't need mom. He didn't need bruh. He needed mommy. I said, "Cool. Let me go shower real quick and I will come." I took a shower. I laid down on that couch. He wrapped himself around me in his 103-degree fever, which at first I didn't realize he was sick. But bro, you're sick. Okay. I spent the next several days, every day when I got off work, made dinner, come, and I cuddled with my baby. And every day he came and he said, "Mom, I needed those cuddles. I wanted those cuddles. I like mom cuddles." And in my mind, he's getting too big for mom cuddles because he's almost 13. He's not quite as tall as me, but he getting some height on him. He's starting to get out of the kitty thing, right? But in that moment, I realized this is where I find my happiness. This is peace for me. Laying here on this couch, forcing fluids, drink this fluid because your fever is sky high. Let me make you some soup. Let me cuddle with you. Let me bring you a bath. Let me go check on the little one. Let me quarantine you and make sure that this one is okay so he doesn't get sick, so he can continue to go to work. Let me go and make a healthy meal. Let me run to the grocery store so I can pick up those fresh ingredients that we need for our house. Let me wash your sheets that made me happy. I know it's going to be a lot of people in these comment sections who don't like this. I want to be very clear. I'm very successful at work. Have a good job. Okay. I don't run my department, but I'm an integral part of my department. My department doesn't function well without me. I love what I do. I really do. I earned my degree. I earned my position. But my home needs me too. My home is where I find my joy. I love what I do at work. Please don't misunderstand. But I find my joy personally. I was meant to be a stay-at-home wife.
And that's the thing. She didn't have to even overly explain it. You should be able to understand what she's saying. But unfortunately, like America is a place that you have to break things down. It's almost ridiculous now. You didn't have to break it down. Any reasonable individual will understand what you're not even trying to say. But unfortunately, the dating culture there is so toxic. Good Lord have mercy. The dating culture there is extremely motherfucking toxic that you have to over explain it. I don't understand though. When does it come whereby we've taken a dump, a shit on this shit is gone way too long. Literally. It's gone way too long. Being a mother is the most graceful thing you can do as a woman on the planet of this earth. And yes, I said it. You can get mad all you want. I don't care. As an African man, I'm saying it. Yes. Call me Bush. Say I am from some bush in Africa. Say I'm not civilized. Call me whatever you want to call me. The highest honor you will have in this life as a woman is when somebody will look at you and say, hey, you're a mother of so and so. It's the highest honor. There is no PhD, no master's degree. There is no amount of degree you want to have in this world that will take that away from you. None. There is no amount of nothing you can do that will ever take that away from you, because you earn that the most natural way. Not saying that your PhD, you didn't earn it the natural way. But now, as you can see how education is now, education is going to be so useless in the next 10 years. Wait, you thought I was stalling? Let me repeat it again. Education is going to be extremely useless in the next 10 years because AI is going to dominate everything. Like I said a few days ago, that last year is the last time that people will be intelligent. People will be less intelligent moving forward because there's going to be a lot of dependency on AI. If you sneeze down, they'll go on AI. They'll Google it. Yeah, AI, tell us the meaning of that. People wouldn't be able to think for themselves no more. It's only going to get bad. The highest honor you can have in this world is a mother, because it's one thing the nature has given you that there is no amount of strength. A man can go to gym from now till eternity. He will never be able to withstand the pain of a monthly menstrual pain that women go through. There is no amount of, you can be the most, all those guys that lift all those heavy weights, they wouldn't be able to sustain one pain from menstrual period that women deal with, because nature didn't design us to go through it. But unfortunately, they feed this ideology that you need to have the same amount of success as a man for you to feel like you're successful. So which means you are not even just playing. You're not running on the same track. You think we are running on the same track, but we are not. You're actually destined to fail in most way. But the success that you have, you think is the same success as a guy, because our lanes are different. And what is wrong with that? But no, they don't want to listen. Let her finish her words.
I'm convinced. Because give me some flour and some yeast and some butter and some sugar and let me make my bread from scratch. Let me roll this pasta from scratch. And because I work a job, it makes it very difficult to do those things because I work a 40-hour week job, right? I'm only off 3 days a week. So there's only so much that I can do in my home. But when I'm at home, when I am a homemaker, when I am redecorating my bookshelves next to my fireplace, that brings me joy.
Look at that. See, the thing that really brings her joy, even despite that she works in so-called corporate field and she can tell 5,000 people what to do, one thing that makes her happy is for her to come home and provide for her family. That is like the highest honor and highest respect you could ever see. And you think a family later stage in life, you think they're going to forget all those little things? No, they're not. But keep living that dream, Annabelle or Emma or Jessica. Man, don't worry. I'll see you in the next 4 years. 4 years coming.
And I'm washing these clothes and fussing at these kids because why haven't you done this yourself? When I am creating an SOP for my child to learn how to take care of his house, that brings me joy. It makes me happy. It really does. That is where I find peace. That's where I find joy. That's where I find contentment. When that alarm clock goes off at 4:45 in the morning, I don't want to get out of the bed and go to this good job that I have. I don't.
Look at that. She has a good job. The pays are probably more than the podcast does. But she doesn't, because she'd rather be at home with the kids. The sanctuary. Because the Western society has brainwashed a lot of people to think there is no value in having families. Every social media content that we see is one disaster story after the other every day. One horrible experiences, that is the things that we see. We don't see anything that is literally encouraging you for you to want to do it. Because they've reduced the benefit, the value of family to, it's not worth it. Men ain't shit. Women ain't shit. Why do you need it? Yeah, they encourage this idea because they want you to become a taxpayer. And there's another illusion that you have. You think your tax money is what they use to fix the country. You're a fool. Your life is not only that your life is being controlled, but you're being manipulated for you to chase the thing that doesn't give you that inner peace, that inner joy. We've been brainwashed so much that until you have to start on, because this conversation right now is going to irritate a lot of people. Like, man, shut the fuck up. What the fuck are you talking about? Yes, you can tell me to shut the fuck up all you want, but sleep on it. All our lives, especially those who live in so-called Western society, ask yourself, your 9 to 5, when you get fired, do you think they consider your family? When you lose your job, do you think they consider your family when they let you go? No, they don't. Because if you don't fit in the system, if you don't fit in the team, if you don't fit in the organization objectives, they will let you go. Then you're back to square root. The same home that you're avoiding every day that you don't want to be. Now you have to be at that home. Let's move on.
But when the alarm clock goes off on my day off at 7 o'clock for me to get up and go work out and then go run my errands and come back here and make my kids and my husband a meal 9 times out of 10 from scratch, I'm in heaven. I am. I know a lot of y'all gonna be like, that's not for you, and that's cool. That's fine. That's okay.
Don't even explain it. Yes, it's the best thing. Let it irritate you. You see, this is one of those things that I'll take a stand on it. Okay? I'll take a stand on it. If you're a woman, if you think all your life that you want to live this life of, I have to live my life, you're a selfish woman. Yes, you're selfish. See, everything we do in this life, we do it to support each other. Your coffee that you drink every 5 o'clock in the morning, what the fuck do you think is making those coffee for you? Who do you think is planting those coffee? You think those coffee just fell out of the sky? The Chanel bag that you want to work that through your corporate job to go and buy, who do you think makes those Chanel bag for you? Who? Who do you think works in those factories to make it? And you as a guy too, because all you know is that you just want to make money and just fuck as many women as you want. Who do you think makes that Nike shoes that you like to buy? That Bugatti that you imagine in your head, what the fuck do you think those materials come from? Somebody has to sacrifice their time and energy to make it for you. So, some of the things that I've heard, the reason why a lot of people don't want to so-called have family or involve into family is because they look at how the world is. The world is a degenerate place. Yes, everything that you said is 100% correct. And so I don't want to contribute into it. I don't want to bring anything into this world. Yeah. So if we have, out of, let's say, 100 million people, and 50 million of them says that they don't want to have kids. They don't want to start a family. They don't want to create a family. They don't even want to go and adopt kids. All right? Because they're better off for them to perish. Good. Good on you. Well done. You've done us a lot of service. So all I'm just saying is that when you're in your 50s, your 60s, your 70s, your back can't walk. Your legs cannot move. Your intestine is fucked up. You go to doctors every day doing all kind of ultrasound and MRI to see exactly what is wrong with you, and they can't find it. I want to know, maybe AI would have developed enough then, but AI will take you to hospital and take care of you. Because I see it in my own family. Just imagine I have anybody in my family says that they don't want kids, they don't want family. Imagine what their life is going to be like. That is the ones who come from a third world country. Because there's this ideology in the Western society. Oh, this one, they're not living the best life. You that you live in your best life, I can't wait to see. So keep that same energy. 4 years. Both men and women. So this is not just towards women. There are a lot of degenerate men too. Degenerate men, there's a lot of them. Some men are even worse than the women. Because it's the ideology that they've bought into too. They started living their life based on ideology that doesn't suit them. The ideology is not from where they're from, but they've wear it in their head. They've structured their life based on, you will lose it. You will lose it. What you're going to lose is not just your money. It's not your swag. No, you're going to lose yourself. You get older in life, then you start realizing that every wealth you can acquire in this life, if you don't have any family to benefit from it, it's just going to be useless. The richest man in the world, he has how many kids? Maybe 12 or 13 kids. Why didn't Elon Musk say that there is no need? Maybe he's rich. He can say, I don't want kids at all. How come all these rich motherfuckers, they always have kids? They always have family. Show me a billionaire that doesn't have family. I'll wait. That's why some of you don't fucking think. The people that everybody aspires to be, oh, I want to be rich, I want to be wealthy, I want to live comfortably, they all have families. But you don't have nothing. And you don't want to have family. Okay? And at the same time, I know there's two sides to everything. I'm not telling you to go and start having family when you know you cannot afford one. If you cannot afford it, let it be known. Congratulations, we wish you all the best. Because one thing you will never take away from nature is that we are all responsible for the consequences of our choices. I am responsible for the consequences of my choices. So that's why you need to learn how to choose well, how to vet well. But in this Western society, no, they tell you to OnlyFans and corn ups, and those are the things that encourage you that, you shouldn't, but a lot of people consume it. So maybe we're waiting for AI to come with Nyash. If you don't know what Nyash is, butt. Come with butt. So AI start looking like, with big boobies and big Nyash. Maybe then men will start subscribing into it. Maybe it seems that's what we're waiting for. We're waiting for AI to come over and give us big booby and big Nyash. Say, give me 3 of those. No, give me 4 of those. I like that AI. That AI Nyash. Ooh. No, give me some Asian AI, or give me some Caucasian AI. Give me some Middle Eastern AI. Maybe that's what we're waiting for. Because there's a lot of degenerate men too out there. You think your shit doesn't stink. We can talk more about women. But men, the men's one even irritates me the most. Is that you see some men talk, you see the ideology, you can say, you are not even raised to be a father. How can I even be a father when you've never considered your life? You've lived a very selfish lifestyle. Everything about you is very selfish. How can you be a good boyfriend? Not even talk of a good husband. Selfishness is something that goes way deeper in the Western society. Everybody be selfish like a mother sucker. Everybody wants everything their own way. They want to have the cake and slice it too. I beg.
It's for me. I aspire to be a stay-at-home wife and mom. I really do. Teaching my kids, now I ain't gonna lie, I'm not the best teacher because, boy, if Johnny had 2 apples, okay, and Amy took one away, we gonna fight. But when it comes to the other things around the house, when it comes to taking the kids to the doctor's appointment, making sure the appointments are done, making sure my house is working as it should, yeah, sign me up all day long. I don't know who told y'all to go fight for us to go to work, because y'all should have went somewhere and took a nap, okay? You should have went and go fold some clothes real quick. Go get them clothes off the line. Why would I want to get up and go work for somebody else and then still have to come home and work for myself? That's dumb. I just want to run the house. That's it.
Yeah. How could you? Shout out to that lady. Let's give her a clap. You understand? That's what I like to see. For me, that's encouragement. So I know there's some ladies, your PhD is more important to you than your future. Because you think your PhD is your future. Don't worry. We'll wait. That's it. I've said it many times. A lot of women, you are designed to be recreational use only. You're just meant to be. When it's done, you get to the next guy. It's just the next turn. Because you've never seen yourself more than your certificate, because the pursuit of being on the same place as a man is what you strive. So you're fighting against men. You want, you see men as the pinnacle of success. And as long as you can remove one man out of it, you feel satisfied. If that is what's going to keep motivating you, well done. Continue. I wish you all the best. I'm not here to judge you. It's your life. Do whatever you want. But just remember, in this life, you are responsible for every consequences of the choices that you make. I say it again. I am responsible for every consequences of the choices that I made. You will be the same thing too. So I'll see you in 4 years.
This is just the reality of it. So women, we're more educated now, and I think that we're furthering our education. So with that being said, we're going to hold off on the baby making. We're going to hold off until we get that great job, really career driven. And I don't think there's anything wrong with hoping that there's someone either on your level or higher than you.
So, okay.
Go ahead, Love Doctor.
All right. So before, right, it was okay when the man made more money to be the one to buy everything, to do, treat you and all this other kind of stuff. And now that you make more money, you can't be that one. Right? You can't be the one to pay for the meal and because you're dating down.
I hate that.
Like to me, by this particular study, I have to date down now. What is that? You wanted to make more money? You wanted to make more money? You make more money? What's the if there is a responsibility with making more money? First of all, I don't believe in any of it. But if there's a responsibility that comes with making more money, accept it. You wanted to make more money.
Can you see her face when he was talking? She had all those spew about why. Look at her face. Because it's the truth. And I know it's one of those questions. I've had few debates about it. I say, I don't like it when a man asks me, what do I bring to the table? You started it. You started it. You start measuring yourself as a man. Okay. You want equality, innate. You want equality, innate. Okay. Here's equality for you. You ask me what I bring to the table. I'll ask you exactly the same thing. What do you bring to the table? What do you bring to the table? Why should I share my resources with you? Your master's degree, your PhD. Yeah, you're very educated. Well done. Welcome. Let's give her a clap. In my lifetime, I've seen a lot of beautiful women. Beautiful women. Every spectrum on this life. As soon as you test their blood, you put the plug into it. They give Western ideology. They give you that. Just know you are cooked because you have to break down a lot of things. She like that. She probably be in her 30s then because it's an old video. In her 30s then. I don't know what her relationship status is right now, but yeah, I can put a little bit of my dollar on it. And it's like, she might be single. She might be single. Why? Because she is measuring herself exactly as a man. Even though you and I both know that we are not put on the same, we see things differently. We are not measured equally. Because if I commit a crime, she commit a crime, I'll get longer sentences. She will not. It's just true. And I'm not saying this to rattle men up. Say, oh, you see? Oh, women. No, that you fool, you stupid as a guy if you start thinking that way. Doesn't mean it neglect what it is. But it's just this mentality. I've said some women, some of the most beautiful women I see, when they're single, I don't even ask them why you're single. I can tell already why they're single. I just let them talk for a little bit. I say, okay, it makes sense. Because the thing is that many of them, they don't really understand how women function. At the same time, like I said before, there's a lot of men who are not raised to be boyfriends. There's a lot of men who are not raised to be husbands. Please don't forget this part of the conversation, all right? But if it hurts you, I like it. That's very good, which means you're a human being. Let's get back to the studio. So, this is the part of my conversation again. I said everything is family. Everything has always been about family. But if you think you get to that point that you don't think you can do that for your family, that's completely fine. No hard feelings at all. You're allowed to think, feel, whatever makes you happy, my boo-boo. Whatever makes you happy is completely fine. Because the thing is that there has to be a time whereby we need to start understanding the importance of family. It's extend beyond your own selfish needs. It extends your PhD. It extends your master degree. It extends your pretty face. I know a lot of people want this entire world to perish. They want everything to be destroyed. Let's destroy everything. You know, it's just better destroy everything. This world is this. Yes, you might be right, but who is that going to benefit? You understand? Who is that going to benefit at the end of the day? There's more to life than your selfish needs. Everything is about family. Everything has always been about family. Everything will always be about family. Me yapping my head right now, screaming my guts out, wherever it's about family. All right? I'll do anything for my family. Almost anything. All right? I'll do almost anything for my family. But unfortunately, we've been advised, we've been encouraged, especially those who live in so-called Western society. There is no need for family. Hey, family ain't shit. Women ain't shit. Men ain't shit. They've used those language so much that people have now built their life based on it. You understand? A lot of people live their life based on those ideology. Well, look, I don't judge. It is what it is. But I just wish we could be a little bit more informed so we can start making some really good choices moving forward. It's not kind of too late, but there's a stage you get in your life. You're too old to be doing some certain things. And that's what's going to happen. All right, let's go to the next conversation. All right. Now, this one is about Africa. All right. Let's talk some Africa a little bit. And this one, I'm being very careful with this one because we're going to dig ourselves into some rabbit hole. The next conversation is that Africa needs to start producing. All right? We need to start producing. And when I mean Africa, I want to talk about Africa because I don't want to talk about Western world. Because the Western society, their new crush is now China. Their new crush is China. For some reason, everybody despises China. What did China do to you? Nobody likes China. No, you know their President Trump. China is this, China is that, China is this, China is that. Waiting happen. China is this. Oh, China is this, China. Yeah. China is the number one economy in the world. I don't listen to all those bullshit they tell you. America is the number one economy in the world. You'll be number one in nothing for forever. Yeah, forever. You've been nothing. For as long as I can squeeze shit out of my ass. You guys have been number one in nothing. All right? It's just for gays. Because I'm going to show you proof right now. Let's watch this video together. What China used to look like to what China is now. Okay? What China used to look like. You understand? What China used to look like. Let me show you what China. This is what China used to look like. This is what China used to look like. Listen.
I want to tell you why so many people are worried about China right now. This is a city called Chengdu in China, and it's the 1980s pictured here. Nothing much. The city has about a $5.5 billion GDP. Not a huge worry to the West. But this is the same city today. $350 billion GDP. Leading the world in exports. The biggest economy in the world. They're taking over. Take note.
So that's the thing. In the 80s, China was one of the cities, not just one of. Do you know that 300 and something billion is more than most African countries put together? I can give you the list of African countries that if you combine the GDP, okay, combine all the GDP, it's not even worth up to one city. So you start asking a different kind of question, really. Africans, we need to start becoming people that produce things, not just use things. And our so-called stupid leaders that we have, those leaders, good Lord have mercy on our souls. Those leaders, I don't think they need Jesus. Jesus needs them. Yeah. Muhammad needs them. Because one of the cities in China went from a place that looks like this. One of those cities used to look like this in the 60s. And ladies and gentlemen, you're going to see what they look like in a second. In the 1960s China, like Trump will say, look at that. Can you see? That is China now, like Trump will say, China. Okay? Why? Because they become an asset to the rest of the world. China became an asset to the rest of the world. China became an asset to the rest of the world. It doesn't take away what they did to get them where they are. What they became, with good, bad, evil, China became an asset to the rest of the world. They became a value. They provide value. They became the world factory. They produce everything. Everything is made in China. Everything you can humanly think about is made in China. Electronics, infrastructure, science, everything. Anything you have, they made in China. And that is exactly what it is. But unfortunately, there is this narrative out there that we need to look down on everything China. I have never been to China, but I would love to go to China. I want to go to China. I want to go and learn how they did it. That is humility. But we know where we are. In the Western society, you are not allowed to be humble. If you're humble, it's taken away from their braggadociousness. You know? I'm Tom. So I want you to listen to one of the Canadian Prime Minister said. And I want this lady to explain it. What this man said, truthfully. For you to still think that you live in some system, you're fooling yourself. Listen.
To watch this speech by Mark Carney, the Prime Minister of Canada. This has to be one of the most brutally, politically honest speeches I've heard in a long time. He's basically telling the world, literally just letting the cat out of the bag, saying, you see that rule-based order that the West likes to pride itself on? Yeah, that's all fiction. Like we didn't know. Like we didn't know it was always based on double standards, hypocrisy, and bigotry. But he's saying it out loud. He's saying that the rule-based order is not just fiction. It was a freaking lie, but we found it useful. He's saying that international law, right, it's there to subjugate and apply to the many, but not the few. He's literally saying that we, the West, we have preached about human rights, rule of law, democracy, yada yada for decades. But we don't do what we preach about.
And I'll back it up by another video from Boris Johnson, used to be the ex-Prime Minister of the UK. What this man said, like I did on my live stream when I was talking about the North Africans that were being racial towards another part of Africa, is that you need to understand how stupid it is. We live in a society that's full with the most immoral people as our leaders. Literally, the most immoral people are the people that's leading and telling you, a citizen, that you're not moral enough. Ruling by criminals, and they're telling you that you're a criminal. They know the law so much. This is why I've told people a lot of, you see, when you start critical thinking, it goes beyond what you think about yourself. Way more beyond than that. Critical thinking, like I would say, thinking is not illegal, but a lot of people are too freaking lazy to think. The Western ideology is filled with immorality. Okay? Immorality. I will show you this video. After this video, you see, from the ex-British Prime Minister, what they did to Iran. You will listen.
He's basically telling the whole world that they set standards for everybody else that even they, the West, have failed to meet. No. You see this speech? This speech should be studied in history, in politics. It should be part of the student curriculum in secondary school, high school, and in university. It should be there for people to not just listen. I want them to digest it. I need them to critically think about its contents, analyze it, examine it, compare it, do compare and all that with the present evidence of everything he's saying. And then, people, once you've digested and processed it, act on it. Listen in and give me your comments in the comment section.
We knew the story of the international rules-based order was partially false. That the strongest would exempt themselves when convenient. That trade rules were enforced asymmetrically. And we knew that international law applied with varying rigor depending on the identity of the accused or the victim. This fiction was useful. And American hegemony in particular helped provide public goods, open sea lanes, a stable financial system, collective security, and support for frameworks for resolving disputes. So we placed the sign in the window. We participated in the rituals. And we largely avoided calling out the gaps between rhetoric and reality. This bargain no longer works. Let me be direct. We are in the midst of a rupture, not a transition. Over the past 2 decades, a series of crises in finance, health, energy, and geopolitics have laid bare the risks of extreme global integration. But more recently, great powers have begun using economic integration as weapons. Tariffs as leverage, financial infrastructure as coercion, supply chains as vulnerabilities to be exploited. You cannot live within the lie of mutual benefit through integration when integration becomes the source of your subordination.
Ladies and gentlemen, it just shows you that a black man, we are not that stupid after all, innate. Because we've been saying the same thing for a while, and people think, especially, like I've said many times, one of the things that irritates me the most is when I listen to all those idiots that comes from some fucking stupid universities, and they can't think out of their fucking ass. Oh my God, it fucking irritates me. How do you explain that with your education motherfucking mumbo jumbo? How? I think the educational system has actually made some educated people fucking dumb and stupid. Because I can promise you there's one idiot in one university that is going to try to break that down and find some nuances in between those conversations, or what the Canadian Prime Minister said, and give it some slight justification. They will always do, because that is what they've been programmed to do in those so-called those stupid universities. Because now listen to what the British Prime Minister, the ex-British Prime Minister, we heard to the Canadian Prime Minister. I want you to listen to what the ex-Prime Minister of the UK, what he said about what they did to Iran. And I want you, those educated in buffoons, for them to translate this and give me a bona fide, legitimate excuses why the UK did what they did to Iran. Listen.
The Iranians, the truth is the Iranians had a case against us.
Which case?
Which was to do with a debt for some tanks that we had sold the Shah of Iran in 1979.
Before the revolution?
So it's complicated, but before the revolution, the Brits had sold the Shah a load of chieftain tanks, which were a big type of British tank. And I think the total, and the Iranians, the Shah of Iran paid for those tanks, I think for like 400 million pounds. I mean, a lot of money.
But the British, they didn't submit.
But the British didn't deliver the tanks. So, but the Shah then got deposed, and the tanks never arrived. And I think some of the tanks we then sold to other people. I think even Saddam Hussein got some of them. So it was a classic. We talked about the British in Libya.
And Libya.
I'm just giving you an example. So the point was that we owed the money for the tanks. Okay, we really did, and we had the money
and the tanks.
the tanks. Well, we sold the tanks.
Yeah, I know, but physically.
So we had the money. We sold the same. We sold the same camel twice. Is a typical British maneuver. It's like we did with like we did with Palestine. You know, anyway, it's another matter.
Okay.
But so the result was that we had a moral case for paying the Iranians.
He said something right there that would irritate me. He said they had a moral case to pay Iranians. So I want to ask you, the university students, because technically you guys should be the future of tomorrow, but many of you, you're the idiots of tomorrow, like I call you. I don't see many of you as future of tomorrow. I see many of you as idiots of tomorrow, because many of you can't critically think for yourself at all. All right? This is the ex-prime minister of the UK. He's told you verbally that they scammed Iran out of over 400 billion pounds of undelivered goods. What do you call that? What do you call that, ladies and gentlemen? Do you think that is a scam? Do you think that is fraud? Do you think that is a criminal offense? Who is going to hold the UK government responsible for false promises? And yet you would dare call Iran a third war. Now, I go punish all of you now. Many of you are so stupid. Your stupidity is far right into your ass, just like Didi will always do you. Pause. No Didi. Because many of you can't think for yourself at all. When we're talking about, these are the leaders that so and so called you vote for. Justify this. This happened in 1979. Do you know how much more they've done since 1979 to today? And you wonder why the world is in a shit place? The world is in a shit place because, like I said on my live stream, the last one I did, I said the sins of the father. It transfers from one generation to the other until it's been rectified. A lot of shit that I deal with most of my life is because of the things the people who came before me, they refused to do or they did. It's called consequences of actions or inactions. They both have consequences. When you're supposed to do something, it has consequences. When you refuse to do something, it has its own consequences too. I'm sure they never teach you that in your stupid universities. Because they tell you this is how the law needs to be. Justify this. Your justification, it better fucking make sense. Because that is a whole UK ex-prime minister publicly acknowledging that they scammed Iran over 400 billion pounds of undelivered items that was promised. Let that make sense. Let's continue.
The moral case for paying the Iranians.
This is a Watch this. So, you know we could overthrow the government, like, tomorrow? Like, today? Like, right now? I'm serious. I'm serious. By the way, I'm not trying to promote violence or anything reckless. I'm just keeping it real for this video. If regular people stopped showing up tomorrow, stopped clocking in, stopped buying, stopped complying with bullshit that only benefits the top, everything would freeze. Everything. And I'm not talking about riots or protests. I'm not talking about burning anything down. I'm talking about the truth nobody wants to admit. This system only works because we keep it alive. We, yes, the people. We, humans, yes, worldwide. Every road you drive on, maintained by workers. Every hospital, staffed by people who are underpaid and tired. Every app, warehouse, classroom, grocery store, power grid. That's us. Not politicians, not billionaires. Us. They sit at the top acting untouchable, but they don't grow the food. They don't deliver packages. They don't clean buildings. They don't teach the kids. They don't heal the sick. They manage power. We are the power. Let me say that again. They manage power. We are the power. And you want to know the craziest part? They know it. That's why they keep us divided. Race against race, rich versus poor, citizen against immigrant, straight versus gay, red versus blue. Because if we ever looked up and said, wait a minute, why are we fighting each other while they eat off of our backs? The game would be over. Again, I'm not calling for violence. I'm calling for awareness. Don't twist my words, because y'all love to do that. I'm not calling for violence. I'm calling for awareness. There's a difference. Violence is what happens when people feel unheard. Awareness is what happens when people finally see the leverage they've always had. Real change does not come from chaos. It comes from refusal. Refusing to be lied to, refusing to be distracted, refusing to be divided, refusing to believe we are powerless when the entire structure depends on our participation. History did not change because somebody screamed louder. It changed when the people said enough is enough, no more, and meant it. And you know what's crazy, bro? The system does not need to be attacked for it to collapse. It just needs people to stop holding it up.
They should follow the law.
And that's the thing again that I don't think a lot of people truly understand. Because it's quite very difficult to truly state how important it is for us to be aware. I said this exact same thing this young guy just said. I said exactly the same thing last year. Because the thing is that there is a lot of places where we don't truly understand what our power is. I've said it, if you really want to disrupt things, let us just put food in the house and just completely just don't go to work for about 6 months. You understand? Let us just not go to work for about 6 months. You will see exactly how quickly they're going to change laws. But a lot of people are not going to do it. Because some people, they believe in the system so much because they don't want to sacrifice. And that is why we're in the same shit we are till today. A lot of people, they don't want to change. They don't want to change things. You understand? You understand? A lot of people don't want to do it because they're not ready to sacrifice what it takes to really change things the way it needs to be changed. They don't. Because they're too scared to sacrifice and put themselves in that kind of way. But very soon, hopefully, little by little, people start waking up to it. Let's finish these videos.
It just needs people to stop holding it up.
They should follow the law, but let's not get our knickers in a twist here. There's no
let's not get our
punishment for this.
knickers in a twist over child. Why are you talking like that? It's insane. Like, it's insane. The Epstein Files
What's
is
insane?
a multinational, multi-generational child and woman trafficking ring. So your attitude right now, you're sort of like, well, shucks, devil begun, is just horrifying to me. Every woman in the world that is watching this, why are you acting like you have no idea what's happening here? Scott, this is...
He asked me a question about following the law.
And what
I
I'm
said they
saying
should
to you
follow
is
the
your
law.
attitude. Yeah, and they're not following the law. They're 30 days late on following law, and they didn't explain why they redacted the first things in the first place, which they were also supposed to do.
I know.
Listen,
you
at
have
this
a strong
point, this
opinion
is not...
about it, and
I
I
have a strong
respect
opinion
that.
about it because it is a
But I think they should
disgusting
do it as
policy that they are
fast as
doing
they
this.
can.
They are hiding it. It is not the behavior of innocent people, and everything that is in these files it could bring an entire house down. And if it has to, it has to. If it brings down Democrats, bring them down. If it brings down Republicans, bring them down. If it brings down princes, world leaders, Hollywood people, bring them down. But what it feels like right now is that there's a giant cabal of people that do not have to listen to the law, do not have to oppose the law, and they were supposed to do something, then they didn't do something, and now they're trying to have a new law that says we don't even have to do it.
That shows you exactly where this world goes through. You understand? And excuse my French, the whole situation, huh? You see, ladies and gentlemen, we live in a time whereby your life is in ruled and controlled by so-called the elite. They tell you when to take a shit. They tell you when to sleep. They tell you when you should prioritize A and B. They tell you when to do all these things. There is nothing you can do about it because they control our lives. The Epstein file is never gonna see the light of day. I said it, but I said this shit. You're never gonna find out nothing. What? It's a wishful thinking to think that you're gonna find out exactly what's on those lists. You're never gonna find it. Why? Because allegedly there's a lot of people in those files that if you find out who they are, even you yourself, you're gonna start changing how you think. So they want to keep it how it is. They don't want to disrupt how things has been. That's why you never find out who's on Epstein file. You would never find out. Forget it. You guys stop asking about it. It's not happening. It's not going to happen. Because the file is not designed for anybody to listen to see it. No. The file was designed for it to stay exactly how it is. Alright? That's what the file was designed to do. So stop asking about the file. You're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. You understand? So, well, that is what I have for now. But please, if you like this live stream, don't be stingy with your fingers. All right? You need to click the follow button. I'll see you again tomorrow. I have some interesting conversation again we'll have tomorrow. But let me just tell you one more time. Men and women, we need ourselves. Don't listen to this stupid propaganda you see on TV. Men ain't shit. Women ain't shit. Hey, they're telling you, they're cooking you up like a chips on the stove. They're cooking you up so you can be alone. You can pay more tax. They can maneuver your life so that you can keep the oil. You are the oil that keep the engine machine working. See, you are the goods. You are the services. You are the one paying for it. All right? You are the one. The elites are the one who controls this world. So if you think it's some politician or writing policy, you're fooling yourself. I have a bridge. I want to sell it. It's right underneath my table here. If you can subscribe, I'll send you the invoice. Because that's how they do it. It's called manipulation. People getting manipulated every day to take away the things that is going to give you some remnants of normalcy at the later stage in your life. I think like an old man. I'm still very young. I want to be old. Old and look very normal as old. Not old. Half of my head is brown already. But yet I'm still stressing about I need to chase some young thing because she can give me some pum pum. No, that's some fucking stupid old man behavior. But each to their own. Like I always say, thinking is not illegal, but you can